everybody, and welcome back. I am the Sovereign, and this is my court. If this is your first time in attendance, hello. Please consider hitting the subscribe button before you leave our kingdom. Hi, a lot of you wanted to talk about the up-close interviews that Miss Universe has released on all of the ladies, which thank you, Miss Universe, thank you. We are over here, we are dry and dusty, we are thirsty for content from the queens we love, so thanks for delivering some things to us and also giving us a bit of insight on the queens that we don't normally get to see. Hello, Korea, China, Japan, Norway. What's going on, ladies? We don't get to see a lot of them. So it's nice to have all the girls in front of us and be able to hear a little bit about them. These up-close interviews benefit everybody. It really gives the fans insight into the personal lives and personality of these queens and brings more engagement to Miss Universe as a whole. We don't just see the queens as queens, we see them as human beings, as women. So giving us this little bit, this tiny window into who they are as people really does help. And there was a few fun facts that I got from some of the queens that I was literally drawn to. Miss Universe Brazil is an actress in China. Sis, how did you do it? That's amazing. My mind was blown. Where, who, what, can I join? How did you do that? South Africa, Miss Universe South Africa is a designer. That explains a lot. Okay, the styling explains so much. But above all, this really gives us insight into how they're going to do an interview, right? Now, a lot of these introductions are going to be written out, which is totally fine. But it's the presentation that matters. And through watching the up-close interviews, I can tell who's gonna struggle with presentation and being comfortable in front of a camera, because some girls have had practice and some girls have not had practice, which is why I gave props, and I still give props to all the coaches who are having the girls do these interviews with each other, doing IG live, so that they understand what it feels like to talk to a camera, talk to people that they don't know or new people around them. This is great practice for them going into Miss Universe competition and potentially interview. And I thought it was kind of funny because I was writing down certain people that caught my eye when it specifically came to charisma and their ability to relate to somebody through a camera. A lot of the people that I wrote down were not necessarily top 5, even top 10 contenders. So I was just whoa now. A lot of the girls that I felt were some of the most charismatic were not people that I even had on my list. Shout out Barbados, Malta, Chile. These girls are incredibly relatable and you feel comfortable listening to them. It feels like they have no problem being in front of a camera or talking to an audience. And I'm just where did this come from? These are women that have potential, but these are also the women that maybe they don't understand or don't know that, number one, you do have potential, and number two, the weakness for a lot of these women who exude that speaking ability and charisma, their weakness is simply going to be technical ability on stage. And I mean, if you didn't know that ahead of time, I'm telling you now, potential, okay, ladies, you have potential. So just do the knees, straight the knees, do the toes, the turns, practice. That's it. You're good. When I say I wrote a list, guys, I wrote a whole darn, it's long. It's a long list of girls that I was just wow. So they do have this ability to be charismatic. So it's almost maybe they're just getting nervous when they're put on the spot. Maybe they're just getting nervous when they're being put in front of people, because behind a camera, a lot of them have the ability. Now, as I've said before, speaking ability and charisma, especially charisma, it's very difficult to teach that. That is something that comes from confidence, and it just takes such a long time to teach that and really be true. But there are a few things that you can do, especially when you're doing something like the up-close introduction type deal, that you can do to become more relatable or connect more with an audience. A lot of the girls were surely reading off of something, which is totally fine. It helps to read off your thoughts. I don't do it on YouTube. If you didn't know, none of my videos are scripted. I don't even really take notes unless I write down a list. I just talk. But if you're going to write something out which helps keep your thoughts in order, that's fine. What matters is your delivery. So we've talked about this a little bit when we talked about the videos that were released by the Filipina contestants that were vying for the Miss Universe title. But even when you are reading off of something, the things that matter in order to make you relatable or connect with an audience is, number one, how you speak. If you're speaking in a complete monotone voice, no one's trying to listen to that. We all know, we've all had that teacher who is completely disengaged and they just speak. They just read off of a book, words off of a line, like a computer voice. It's terrible to listen to. When you are trying to be authentic and have people perceive you as being authentic when you speak, your voice has natural inflections when you talk. If you're seeing me talk now, you're not seeing me talk to the camera. I just think that the girls could speak a bit more, and they don't really relay charisma or relatability to the way that they are perceived off camera. I don't think that's terrible. When you speak, regardless of if you're reading, you have natural inflections in your voice, natural distortions to your pitch and tone. So when you're being very serious and heartfelt, you will deepen your voice. You will talk very softly. You will talk as if you're almost speaking to a child. But when you finally get to the point where you're like excited, your pitch raises and it's more of a heightened, bubbly, energetic type voice, and you get a bit louder. Those different inflections is what relays to the audience your authenticity and your sincerity. Besides the natural inflections and patterns that we have when naturally speaking, as you see, my voice like changes pitch and everything as I speak and talk through like all of my videos, right? Another thing that matters is the bits of space, breath, and even little giggles that you have when you speak. You guys have seen me giggle, you've seen my voice waver. Those natural distortions is what makes your portrayal, your words come off as authentic. When you're telling a funny story about your family or something funny that happened or something that you are passionate about, sometimes you will have these little giggly moments. Sometimes you'll, make a funny face because we can see their faces on camera. A lot of girls try to keep a very straight face as if your face, as just like your voice, is not going to have natural distortions as you talk or recall information or think about certain stories. You guys have seen me make tons of faces on camera, and I don't attempt to control them because then I would definitely come off as completely inauthentic. That's another reason I don't come on YouTube completely made up every single time I get on YouTube, because I like to be authentic, even though people want to get in the comments and be upset that I wore a plaid shirt in a video as if I didn't wear it last year during a reaction to Miss Universe 2019, okay? Learn your history. But there's a reason I allow you guys to see my vulnerability. You see me in my pajamas, you see me in my onesies, you've seen me made up. I give you all of that because I do my best to appear as authentic as possible. I don't my lip color is not this natural color if you didn't know. So that I show you guys my natural face without makeup, all that stuff. So when speaking to a camera, it's very important that you don't hold a very stagnant expression and face and voice, because that's fake. We can see it. Another word for it would be like inauthentic. We want to see the authentic version of you. And sometimes that can be very vulnerable feeling to some of the girls. It can be very scary for people to see the true you and all of its weird nonsense glory, all the funny faces that you make, all the funny voices that you make, but we want to see it. And it endears you to an audience. I'll go down the list of some of the girls that I really thought like stood out during their interviews, and know that I'm not judging their life experiences of like who has the best life story, because it's not about that. How am I going to judge somebody's life story as if they had some sort of control over that? Like, I can't discern who has the best life story. Like, this is what they've been through. This is what they've done. I'm not gonna say who's got the best life. I'm more so looking for the woman who's comfortable in front of the camera, who's got the charisma to attract an audience and hold their attention. So I said Barbados, Malta, Chile, Jamaica, Australia, obviously. I told you she's one of the most charismatic women in the competition, like bar none, that's it. Great Britain, Bolivia, Ireland. Ireland is... Girl, like, you're so nice to hear speak. You're so natural. She's so comfortable. She's wonderful to listen to. I wish she had the stage ability to like put it all together, because in front of a camera, she is 100% comfortable. And I'm just like, what? Where did it come from? I think Mexico's up close video, it wasn't bad. Like, it's totally fine. But she does not have the same charisma as other women do, such as Barbados and Malta and Australia. She doesn't have the same engagement, though it's perfectly fine. And obviously you can win Miss Universe without that. Like, you don't have to have the most charismatic, bubbly, happy, whatever video, but that's definitely an edge to her competitors that they have over her. So that's why charisma is something that if you don't have it, you want to work on it. India's up close video is one video that got me, like, it struck me with something that I wasn't really looking for, something that I didn't know that I wanted, but India's video was heartfelt. It drew an emotion from me, and that is prime what you want to do to an audience. The best way to endear yourself to any audience, whether it be judges, anybody watching you, is to elicit an emotion from them. If you can make an audience feel something for you, you got them. And I feel like that's not one thing that most of the girls took into account when they're making their videos. But if you really want to endear yourself and you're going to make some sort of video, any video, try to figure out what you're trying to make your audience feel. Do you want your audience to feel inspired from what you're saying? Do you want your audience to feel like moved or touched? Do you want them to feel energetic? Do you want them to feel happy, bubbly? What type of emotion are you trying to push on them? If you can make some sort of emotional impact on anybody watching you, you are going to connect with them and you will have a lasting, memorable impact, which is what India did to me. And I had to like write her down in her own little special category because I was just like, it was heartfelt and I liked it. Indonesia also gave something to me that I wasn't expecting. Like, I just wasn't expecting it. Indonesia's video was so relatable. And it was because of when she was talking about her love of spicy food. Like, that's such a random fact to put into the video, but it's something that is part of who she is. And the way that she showed it and shared it was 100% like authentic. Like, she was giggling and she was laughing and it was kind of like a quirky thing. And she let us see that quirky behind the scenes nature. It wasn't like polished and put together or anything. Like, she was giggling in her video and she's like, yeah, I just have this love of spicy food and I dare you to out eat me. I was like, sis, first of all, I can't. Okay. I'm a crybaby when it comes to spicy food. I don't eat anything spicy. And I know it's contradictory to the Black life that I live, but I don't do spicy, not even the spicy Cheetos. But that one little moment in her video made it so relatable. Like, I was like smiling, I was giggling, like, this is so cute, just off of her love of spicy food, because that's true to who she is. No matter how quirky or silly she portrayed herself, like, it was totally fine and she left it in the video and I thought that was great. Can we get more of that? I want to see the relatability because I feel like a lot of the girls feel like when they get in front of a camera, they have to be so put together. They have to be a perfect little queen and they have to put on the smile and then they talk perfectly structured and all put together. And I'm like, you don't have to do that. I definitely don't, as you've seen. A lot of the time, what your audience is craving is you and all your wacky weirdness. Believe it or not, I know I find it's sometimes it's hard for me to even like fathom because people love the moments of my videos where I am the least put together, when I am the least polished, when I am the least composed. Hell, some of you guys love it when I'm outraged and upset, but those are the moments regardless of what they are, whether it be sad moments, happy moments, silly moments, the wacky moments. They love to see those fleeting moments of your true character and personality. And believe it or not, and I can tell you from like actual experience, your audience isn't really going to judge you for the things that you think they're going to judge you for. Like, they judge you for some things, you know, like your hips or your butt or whatever, which screw those comments. But your personality and what you like and enjoy and your silliness, honestly, most people enjoy it. So let us see it because I enjoy it too. Like, honestly, there was just a lot of girls that caught my eyes here. Belgium, Netherlands, Nepal, Denmark, Bolivia. There was just a lot. Thailand, I put Thailand was very relatable as well. Like, there's a lot of potential here. So hopefully we see a bit more of that comfortability coming through, especially when it comes to interview time. You really want to be comfortable in front of the judges because if you're on edge, believe it or not, they can feel it. They will know. But thanks to Miss Universe for giving us a bit of insight. Like, we have been going through a content drought out here, Miss Universe. You're just keeping us on the edge of our seats for what? For like, do you need ideas of like stuff to give the girls to do? Give us anything. Literally, Miss Universe could give us anything and we would be happy. Give us pictures of all the girls holding an orange and we would just like pick our favorite orange pictures. You don't understand how dedicated your fans are, okay? Give us anything, Miss Universe. We're happy. In the comment section below, let me know what you think about the up-close interviews. Who were your favorites? What did you feel for some of these girls? Don't just tell me like, oh, she was pretty and her, like, yes, we know they're all pretty. They're all pretty. I remain unimpressed by their angelic features at this point. You're not gonna hypnotize me with a nice pair of outlined lips and some, you know, flashy eyes with some nice eyelashes. Like, tell me what they made you feel. Tell me like how they engaged you. Okay, I know the girls are very hypnotic, but do not be distracted, okay? Do not let them magically Jedi mind trick you. Try to like really look into what they're saying and what type of emotion they're conveying. Okay, we gotta be deep thinkers over here because we're trying to choose a queen. We're trying to choose the next queen of the universe. So let me know what you think, have to say in the comment section below. Make sure you give the video a thumbs up. And like I said, if this is not your first time here in my court, in my kingdom, welcome. We do lots of pageant videos on top of other content. You know, I will dish on practically anything. Stick around. There are more things to come. I love you and I will miss you, but you know I will be back in a future video. Bye!